What's up, Colts fans? I'm here making a little video here on Carson Wentz. Every week I do the mechanics series with Carson Wentz and break down kind of the good and the bad and kind of the ugly from every single game. And I know that you guys talk about me as like the guy who hates Carson and is way too hard on him, but I have really been impressed in recent weeks with his play, and I really want to highlight an element of his mechanics and his overall game that I've been super impressed with. So this is a video that I'm kind of making for that series because the Colts just didn't have a game this past weekend. I just want to highlight this area of his game. And what we're looking at is his ability on these outside throws. And this is something I've been really hard on him, especially this past off season with the Eagles, because you could see on these outside throws the mechanics are just not there. This left foot he's just swinging that front door open. He's leaving so much to be desired with his mechanics. He's opening up too much on the upper half. And the problem is there's just no synchronicity between the lower half and the upper half. The upper half is starting before the lower half is finished. It's very disjointed, and you're going to get more accuracy issues from that. And then with this bottom half, with this left foot being way too far outside, you're just asking for that ball to go outside. Wherever that back foot and front foot are aimed is where that ball is going to go. It's very hard to throw against the grain and throw where that body is not aimed. So right here you have him aim too far outside because that left foot is swung open, and the result is going to be just a missed pass that he should be completing. I mean, you're going to see when this ball comes out that his receiver was wide open. He's probably a little late on this throw, honestly, because the receiver is so open. This is an easy completion that he should make, and he's just not able to make it because of those issues in his mechanics, just that lower half being targeted way too far outside, the upper half just not being in sync with it. Just very, very poor mechanics here, which leads to the incomplete pass. And we saw a lot of the struggles last year with things like this. And I think even earlier this year, as we get into the Baltimore game, this is one of his best games of the season. We see some of those issues as well. He starts left, he's getting back to the right, and he just doesn't get all the way out. He's throwing this outside the numbers here. He's throwing this way outside. If you look where that back foot is located, though, you would think this is going to be a pass right up the middle. When we're talking about mechanics of a quarterback again, the ball is going to want to go where that back foot and that front foot are pointing. When you try to throw against that grain, you are losing velocity, you're losing accuracy, you're losing all the energy that your body could build up when throwing this pass. So he's throwing this against his body, he's throwing it against where he should be throwing it, and the result is going to be a pass that sails over his receiver's head because he just did not get his feet out where it needs to be. Same thing on this one. He's trying to get outside. He swings that left foot wide open like he did on that first play we looked at from last year, and the result is a high pass outside. And, this wasn't me killing him. I think early in the season he still played some really good ball, but these last 2 weeks or these last couple weeks, we've really seen some good play from Carson Wentz, particularly on these outside throws. I think the mechanics look good. I think the timing looks good. The confidence looks good. And then as a result, we're seeing great velocity and accuracy on these outside passes. We're going to see right here just everything looks clean, looks really smooth in his drop back, a lot smoother than he did on those other clips. And he's sitting on that outside throw. So when he is ready to step into this, the base is nice and clean, very solid base. You could see the bodies just all moving together. There's nothing disjointed about this here. He's stepping forward with that. He's got his back foot lined up where it needs to be. And the result is a perfect pass to the outside to T.Y. Hilton, where there's two defenders closing. He puts that in the perfect spot. He needs to be with great velocity to stretch that defense to the outside. Same thing here, except he's not able to step into this pass. You can see Brandon Smith is getting kind of driven back into his lap. The looping defender is going to get into his lap as well. So he's not going to be able to step into this pass. But something that we're really going to see that's great here is he throws this with great anticipation. He's throwing it before his receiver's open. You could see right there Jack Doyle is not even turned around yet. But Carson Wentz is already starting the motion. He's got his hands off the ball. He's got his feet kind of already going. He's about to step into it. And even though he's not able to completely step like he needs to, he's still able to get that sidearm out there and get that ball to where it needs to be for a big, big completion on third down. And that's the thing with mechanics. Mechanics, it's all about getting that ball on time and where it needs to be. If you're not able to step into it or you're not able to have perfect mechanics in every play, that's fine, but the ball just has to get where it needs to go. And he had so much going for him on that play with his upper body mechanics, with his knowing where he needed to put this ball, that he's able to throw a great ball without being able to step into it. Same thing as the Texans here. He was really attacking these outside leverage. Here he's got T.Y. Hilton up there one-on-one. He's already starting the process of his throw when T.Y. Hilton is right there. When T.Y. Hilton's not separated from the corner, he knows from the leverage of that defensive back that he can attack to the outside. So he's putting this ball, he's already lined up perfectly to where he needs to throw it to that outside corner. He's already stepping into it. He's getting his whole body process moved. And when this ball comes out, it's going to have the perfect velocity, perfect placement, just a great throw. And when you have a quarterback like this who can make these throws with velocity, with accuracy, it really stresses a defense. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this league, or I won't say a lot, but there are some quarterbacks in this league where you really just got to defend the middle, maybe not from numbers to numbers, maybe just slightly outside the numbers, because they don't have that arm strength to threaten you in those corners. They don't have the arm strength to threaten you across the whole field. Carson Wentz, with how he's played of late, you have to respect the entire field of play with him. You can't allow things to the outside. You can't allow things to certain areas because he can hit those windows. We're seeing right here just the perfect pass over two defenders in a tight window to the sideline, and that's just great stuff. And on film, from the progress from this to what we've seen in the last couple weeks, I think it's just been remarkable, and it's a big testament to his training, where he is with his mechanics, where he's kind of improved over the course of just a year. And it's leading to a lot more success. I mean, just having a really strong season for the Colts right now. So I'm going to put up some numbers here first, and this is actually from his Eagles games first. And you can see that from this 0 to 20 range, this is where I really want to look at, this intermediate outside the numbers range. You can see it's pretty decent numbers, not atrocious considering how he played last year. He completed 64% of his passes for around high sevens in yards per attempt, with 7 touchdowns and 5 picks. So not atrocious, but there was definitely room to improve. Now when you go to the Colts to this year right here, you're going to see on these outside numbers, you're seeing a lot better numbers. You're seeing a lot higher completion percentage. He's up to 66% completing his passes, 900 yards, which is nearly 9 yards an attempt, which is, we're talking NFL MVP caliber in yards of attempt if you go a whole season averaging that. And then 10 touchdowns, 0 picks. So we're seeing more efficiency, higher yards per attempt, higher completion percentage. And a big part of that is his chemistry with these receivers, his overall mechanical, and just better with his mechanics. We're seeing a much better Carson Wentz of late, especially outside the numbers. So I just wanted to highlight that in this video. I want to talk about how good he has been on these types of plays, and just kind of throw some praise his Wicks. I know, again, you guys get on me for not throwing some praise, but I do think in recent weeks we are really seeing a different Carson Wentz when it comes to attacking these outside the numbers throws. So hopefully he can continue that against the Patriots in this big game coming up. But for this week's mechanics of Carson Wentz, this is something that I've really, really been impressed with in recent weeks, and hope he can continue down this last stretch.